Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and Boker Tov on this very beautiful and somewhat unseasonable May morning. With everything going on, with everything that we're feeling, with the anxiety, with the sadness, perhaps with some tedium, I want to address this morning what I think is the most important concept that animates our people, that animates humanity, that animates the world, and that is love. I want to talk for a few moments about love, and specifically to recognize that there are different kinds of love. And I want to focus on what I believe and what our tradition believes is the most important type of love. But first, I want to acknowledge a type of love that exists, that is significant, but is not necessarily always the ideal. And I want to refer to a psychiatrist who was also a Hasidic rabbi, who was part of a dynasty of Hasidic rabbis, and that is Dr. Rabbi Abraham Twersky. So he tells the following story about love. There was a rabbi of Brisk who had a reputation for being somewhat acerbic, and he would tell it like it is in ways that his students didn't always want to hear. So he noticed that there was a young man who was sitting and eating a piece of fish, as we would say, a nice piece of fish. And he walked over to this young man and he said to the young man, why are you eating the fish? And the young man said to him, because I love fish. And so the rabbi of Brisk said, let me see if I understand this. You ask somebody to take the fish out of the water, to kill the fish, to put the fish on your table, and you eat the fish, and all of that is because you love the fish. So you don't love the fish, you love yourself. And because you love yourself, you're eating this piece of fish. So Dr. Rabbi Twersky goes on to say that so much of what we call love is fish love. It is about satisfying our own needs. We say we love somebody because we believe that that person will serve our needs, our physical needs, our emotional needs. Now, Twersky says that that's a part of life. We have to accept that. We have to accept that we are partnering with people who satisfy our needs. That's fine. But what he says is that we also need to think carefully, not just about the love of what do I get, what do I take, but also about the love of what do I give. And all of us who have had the experience of a deep kind of love, the love that usually matures over the years, we understand that the love of giving is very, very significant. So here, Rabbi Twersky quotes another rabbi, someone who I actually studied with a number of people in our synagogue, and that's Rabbi Dressler, who was a Musar teacher, a teacher of ethics. So what did he say? I want to share this quotation and I want you to think about it. Rabbi Dressler said, more than we give to those we love those to whom we give. I'm going to say that again. More than we give to those we love those to whom we give. I want us to think about the love that comes from giving. It's certain that we give to our children, we give to our life partners, we give to our friends because we love them. But I also want us to reflect on the reality, and I believe that you'll see this, that when you give to a child, when you give to a grandchild, you love that child, you love that grandchild even more. You love the friend, you love the life partner even more. Now, Twersky says part of it is because we've put some of ourselves into that person. So if fish love is a reality, if we love ourselves, then the more of ourselves we put into someone else, the more we're going to love that person. But I think it goes deeper than that. I think it sets off a chain of events. And I'm telling you, if you think, I want you to take these moments to think about someone to whom you have given, and you will be able to reflect, even if it's been hard to give, even if it's been challenging to give, that the giving that you do, it sets off a whole chain of reactions that makes you love that person more. And that often will make that person love you more. The love of giving is a very powerful love. I want to just give one small example that I experienced just in these past weeks. So you know that we've been having classes, sessions online. Other things have been happening as well. And I have been having the real pleasure of being online and specifically in these past weeks discussing Israeli literature, Israeli poetry. Okay, it could be anything. You could talk about anything, but this is what I've chosen. So I'm sharing some of my insights. And that has set off a chain of reactions where people are sharing theirs. Oh, here's how I thought about it. Oh, here's something that came to my mind. What's happening? In addition to sharing insights, our regard for each other and our affection for each other actually grows. Teaching is an act of giving. And anybody who's taught, whether you're teaching interns, whether you're teaching children, whether you're teaching adults, it doesn't matter. You realize that as you are giving, your affection for the people grows, their affection for you grows. This week is, among other things, Teacher Appreciation Week. You know, Jimmy Kimmel sang a cute little song, teachers should earn $1 billion, okay? It's true, they should, they don't. But to the teachers who give every day and who are recently giving in a medium that is less than ideal for instruction, it's more of a medium for destruction. I want to say thank you. Thank you for the giving that you do, which comes from love and which nurtures love in you and in your students. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. Where do you even begin? To all of the mothers who give out of love and whose love grows every time you give, I want to say thank you. Thank you for the giving that you do, which comes from love and which nurtures love in you and in your children. I want to conclude by referring to a beautiful highlight of the celebration of Israel's independence, which took place recently. So perhaps you heard it. 3 brothers, Jonah, Ben, and Henry Platt, they're all extremely talented. Ben won the Emmy for the magnificent Broadway musical, Dear Evan Hansen. They sang something in honor of Israel's independence that was totally unexpected. If you had said to me, what are they going to sing? I would have come up with 10 songs other than this. What they sang was a setting to the prayer that we recite every night, Ahavat Olam. We say to God, you love us eternally and you have given us Torah and mitzvot. They sang a beautiful setting to this. We can send it out to the congregation. I urge you to listen if you haven't heard. So what does this mean? It means that because God loved us, God gave something to us. And I dare say that by virtue of God having given this, God loves us more. And we think about Torah, and we think about mitzvot, and we think about everything that animates us specifically as Jewish people, but there are, of course, human universal elements as well. And what's the very next thing we say? Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha. So we then come to love God more by virtue of what God gives us and by virtue of what we give back to God. There is so much callousness in the world. There is so much bitterness. There is so much misery. Our tradition has always emphasized that love is the engine that drives the world. Some of it is fish love, the love about taking, and that's just what it is. But today I want us to think about and to embrace the love that is about giving. We give to the ones we love, and the more we give, the more we love. So I just want to say to all of us, whatever you're giving, continue to give. If you can give more, give more. When we lie down and when we rise up, let our love continue to grow. Shabbat Shalom.